The rain in Blackwick does not wash things clean, it just spreads the grease around. They call it the soot curse, or just living. Scrim sat in the darkest corner of the rusted bucket. He was nursing a drink that tasted like battery acid. He was 19, going on dead. Skinny as a rail, gray stains on his neck marked where he had sold pieces of himself. The door swung open. A figure stepped in. Too small for the oversized work clothes, too clean for this part of town. She scanned the room, her eyes locked on Scrim. She walked over, boots thudding heavy on the sawdust floor. Vinnie slammed a bag of coins on the table. It clinked heavy, real silver. Scrim did not blink. He asked what the job was. Vinnie leaned in close. She needed a retrieval from the slaughterhouse district, specifically the Pawnshop of Souls. Scrim laughed. It was a dry, hacking sound. Nobody breaks into the broker's vault. Vinnie pushed the coins back. She said she knew about his condition. She knew he sold his shiver. Years ago, Scrim sold his ability to feel cold. He was freezing to death, so he sold the sensation to a broker just to stop the pain. Now, the cold could kill him, and his body would not even tremble to warn him. Vinnie said that was exactly what she needed. The pawn shop has defenses that target the nervous system, freezing wards. Scrim was the only one who could walk through them. Scrim took the money. He was hungry, and hunger makes you stupid. They stepped out into the night. The rain was freezing sleet now. Scrim felt nothing, just the wet. They moved toward the smokestacks. The slaughterhouse district smelled of copper and old ozone. Vinnie moved well for a rich girl. She tried to hide her accent, but Scrim heard the high-born vowels clipping her fake slang. Scrim asked what she was stealing. She got quiet, said it was personal. They reached the perimeter. The Pawnshop of Souls, a fortress of iron and brick, windowless and monolithic. Guards stood at the gate, hollows, men who had sold everything but their obedience. Scrim pointed to a drainage pipe, high up, slippery. Scrim climbed like a spider, no fear. No shake in his hands, despite the ice coating the metal. He lowered a rope for Vinnie. She climbed up, gritting her teeth against the wind. They slipped through a ventilation grate. The air inside was stale. It smelled of dust and dried flowers. They dropped into the intake room. It was silent, too silent. Scrim picked the lock on the inner door. His fingers were stiff, but the blue tips moved with memory. The main warehouse floor, it stretched for miles, shelves upon shelves of glass jars. This was the inventory of humanity. Scrim looked at a jar labeled Sleep 1984. It swirled with gray mist. Vinnie rushed past him. She was checking the aisle numbers. She was looking for the high-value section. Scrim warned her to keep her head down. The auditor patrolled these floors. They found Section Z. The jars here were not glass. They were crystal and lead. Vinnie found it. A heavy lead canister. Conscience, House Vanderhoven. She held it like a baby. She whispered that she sold it so she could leave her family, but she couldn't live with the silence in her head. Suddenly, the lights died. A mechanical humming sound filled the air. The auditor had found them, a tall, faceless suit walking out of the shadows. The auditor did not run. It glided. It raised a hand, and the temperature plummeted. Vinnie gasped. Her breath turned to instant snow. She fell to her knees, freezing. The absolute zero wave hit Scrim. It should have stopped his heart. But Scrim had no shiver. His body didn't know how to panic at the cold. He just felt the stiffness. Scrim charged. He wasn't fast, but he was moving when nothing else could. The auditor paused. Logic error. The target was not freezing. Scrim didn't have a weapon. He had a jar he grabbed from the shelf. Pure rage. He smashed the jar against the auditor's white suit. The rage infected the auditor. The calculated machine began to thrash, overwhelmed by raw emotion. The ice spell broke. The temperature snapped back. Scrim grabbed Vinnie. He hauled her up. They had to run. Alarms wailed. The hollows were coming. They sprinted for the conveyor belt, the output line. The belt carried them up toward the loading bay chutes. They tumbled out into the rain. A dumpster broke their fall. They scrambled away into the labyrinth of the city. Safe under a bridge, Vinnie looked at the box. She opened it. A golden vapor flowed into her chest. Her conscience returned. She looked at Scrim. For the first time, her eyes held real weight, real guilt. She asked if he wanted to buy back his shiver. She had enough left over. Scrim touched his blue lips. He shook his head. The numbness had saved them. It was part of him now. Vinnie stood up. She had a family to confront. Scrim watched her go. He was cold, but he didn't mind.